Alright, making another video. Yeah, it just never stops. Anyway, some guy did answer my call to, whatever, copy the parts of the video that Evil Napalm or whoever made some points in, so what the hell, we'll play it. See what we get. Maybe paying attention is a good idea.
Howdy everyone.
Oops.
So Gary has made a 29 odd minute video replying to the video I did called "The 800% Walls Tax is Discriminatory Towards Amendums." So let's just play Gary's video and respond, shall we?
This appears to be the same video. It's an hour and 10 minutes long. I'm not doing it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
There we go.
video response. Sort of by force. You
Same.
send me a PM, unseen, whatever, poopery.
Perfidy, Gary. Perfidy.
Oh,
You should
no,
look.
no, I'm not wasting time with this. Sorry. Look, I mean, I made a simple rule, okay? You have to cut out the parts, all right? I'm not watching an hour and 10 minutes of this nonsense. It's a waste of my time, you fucking idiot. Jeez, you can't listen? No, of course you can't. You're a fucking asshole. I'll just have to block you then. I mean, really, the rule was not complicated. You asked us to PM you if you skip something. Right, so you send me an hour and 10 minutes of crap. I mean, really. You said if the video, you send your video to videotape any points you skipped over. Yeah, so these were points? He didn't make a point. He's going to yammer about absolute crap. There's two issues, jackass. One of them is an 800%, well, it's 1,000% tax on cigarettes. And the other subject is whether or not a slight regulation on the internet is appropriate. Those are the two subjects, shithead. Two fucking subjects. You don't need an hour and 10 minutes to respond to those two subjects, you stupid cunt. Jesus, assholes. They're just everywhere. So this guy's also an asshole. A little yellow-fisted guy. I've seen him before. I'll be done with him too. Anyway, that was a waste of time. So what we will do, though, I mean, apparently some assholes have commented on the video, so we'll go there. There we go. Penis. Yeah, there's one of the brighter guys, right? Clubbing others. Yeah, he's a real clever guy. Okay, penis. Well, that's just useless. Too fucking useless. Yeah, too useless. Alright. How come it... Oh, I gotta delete it too. Yeah, might as well. Oh, where's the little thing? The little thing is gone. Oh, there it is. Remove. Yeah, there we go. Troll Napalm is just basking in the attention he's getting, positive or negative. The whole point of excessive technician to minority vices means zero to him. Well, obviously it means zero to him. So, yeah, that we've already established. The point is that should people be allowed to be this stupid? How many times, I mean, without being deported to Iran. Anyway, how many times do you need to be told that there are more things that contribute to the cost of a pack of smokes than just production cost and taxes? Okay, you tell me, asshole. Explain to me. 22 cents for the production. Yeah, a typical can of soda, right, costs less than, I think it's about 15 cents for all the marketing and the distribution. So heavy cans of soda have to be transported. Some of them are damaged, you know, they blow up, all kinds of bullshit. You know, they weigh preposterously more than a pack of cigarettes. So, I mean, just for the sake of it, how could you explain 22 cents plus 15 cents is 37 cents? And now if you just add on, you know, whatever, the rest of it's just gratuitous profit. And so, yeah, and competitively, you couldn't survive in a market. If it, you know, typically for products, if you spent more than 10% of the product price on marketing, you're going to get undercut by somebody who doesn't do the marketing. So there's always a limit to how high you can make the marketing costs. So there's just no way to... Look, I gave you the most outrageous figure would be 66 cents a pack, which is 3 times the production cost. Alright, so there's plenty of profit, plenty of marketing, distribution, very light product again, very durable, doesn't spoil, doesn't go bad. Yeah, so that's the reality, asshole. You want to deny the reality because you're a petty asshole. Okay, fine, just keep denying it. But I can't, there's no help for you, right? You just want to be a liar, okay? You want to pretend it isn't real. Well, it's real. The tax is real. I really bought cigarettes for $3 a carton. Taxed. New Jersey tax stamp. They were already taxed, okay? But, you know, they just weren't taxed insanely. $3 for a carton of cigarettes. That's what I used to spend. $3.33 or something, whatever it was. That's what I paid for cigarettes when I was 12 years old. So, and now that same carton costs, well, for Winston's it would be $75. So $3 to $75. Show me something else in the economy that has a price increase like that. Oh yeah, it's impossible. Especially something, again, there's nothing to it. It's tobacco, you know, and machines make the cigarettes, and the machines have gotten better, more efficient. You don't think the machines have gotten more efficient over the last 40 years, dumbass? So just keep being a petty liar, okay? Petty liar, petty liar, petty liar. I mean, you have no, you know, who the fuck are you anyway? Jesus saves. What the hell is that crap? I like what? I'm called Enjigalink. Who cares? You're a fucking idiot. Okay, because companies sell all things at cost. No, I made the point. 22 cents production cost. I said if they sold them for 66 cents. I said those words, shithead. 66 cents is 3 times the production cost. God, you're just too stupid. Alright. Yeah, this guy's trying. Trent, cigs are taxed extraordinarily high is the argument, moron. Imagine the equivalent tax for a loaf of bread, for example. Does $34 for a loaf of bread sound fair to you? You lot do realize that the Thunderfoot video was a joke video, right? Well, of course it was a joke video, but it was an extremely unfunny joke. And, like, what was exactly the satire? I mean, it didn't even make any sense on so many levels. And, so, yeah, I mean, but how much of it was a joke? That he went to school at all? Is that the joke? Part of it, too? Yeah, I think it was. No one has to work an extra hour to smoke. Oh, this is that skinny wop guy. Why don't you just call yourself Skinny Iranian? Or ugly motherfucking wop, because you really are ugly as fuck. You have the freedom to smoke your own You have the freedom to smoke at your own cost. Well, again, it's obviously it's not a freedom if it's taxed out of accessibility, retard. You think people would still be free to drink if it cost, you know, $50 for an ounce of liquor? No, they obviously wouldn't have the freedom to drink anymore. You're stupid. You also have the freedom not to smoke. No, well, I live in a free country. I want to live in a free country. I don't want to live in your Nazi empire, you motherfucking cunt. And if I ever did get power or have power, yeah, I'd have assholes like you deported to fucking Iran, because you obviously hate freedom. Alright, so fuck you. Yeah, I mean, you're just as much the enemy as you could possibly be. I don't know. How do you describe more of an enemy to me than some asshole who sits there and says, you have the freedom not to care about your liberty? Well, I do care about my liberty. Is there some liberty of yours I can tax by 800 or 900%? Do you have the balls to tell me what you enjoy doing so I can tax the fuck out of it so you can't do it anymore? Do you enjoy video games? What do you enjoy? I'll put an 800% tax on it and see if I can drive you away from it. It costs you $3,000 or $4,000 more a year to do it. See if you like that. I mean, really, just fuck you. This is the key point you seem to miss. No, it's not a key point. The key point is the Supreme Court decisions are already written, jackass. And the tax is in direct contradiction of those decisions and the principles in the United States Constitution. You want to ignore that fact? Ignore that fact. But that's all you're doing. You're ignoring that fact. And so you're just being a lying propagandist weasel, and you should be sent back to fucking Iran. You fucking Iranian. You fucking freedom-hating Muslim kook. Alright, this guy answered him. No one has to work an extra hour to drink beer, eat a bag of chips, drink soda, yet cigarettes are taxed higher than these. The key point is the artificially raised price is singled out on cigarettes, you dumb fuck. Yeah, that's about what he is. Yeah, he won't respond to that because he probably enjoys some of these activities. But yeah, we certainly should. I mean, cigarette smokers just should get together and vote for tax increases and all the other vices, and just to make everybody else miserable. Yeah. You know, so everybody can hate each other and then we can have a nice civil war and get rid of all this dead wood. Anyway, see what this guy said. Let's see. Oh, this is the same thing he PM'd to me. Gary is very smart, but his psychology has made him ignorant. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I did block you, correct? Yes, I did. Okay, so now I can just delete the comment. Retard. Reconated. Damn, that was funny. I can't tell if Napalm was joking about the... No, it's a joke. You being able... Well, I don't think it was a joke that he got the little badge, but whatever. You not being able to grasp things which are obvious seems to be a recurring theme with you. So that was the Tech Lock. Where's his comment? Oh, okay, right up here. Yeah, well, that's rude, Josh Silver. I think I just blocked you for being rude. Yeah, to somebody else, but you're still rude. Fuck you. Go away, rude person. Do. You suck. What job do you have, Gary? Well, that's none of your business, but I mean, obviously, I demonstrate some of my jobs in some of my videos. Besides the incessant amount of videos you come out with on a regular basis, rambling on for hour after hour on end. Well, whatever. What do you do, jackass? I mean, if we can ask each other. Oh, I mean, look at all these comments. Fuck you, you're blocked. Edible Napalm received an award in science, and Thunderfoot didn't receive shit. He's a shit scientist, if you call him that. I don't even really understand this. Do you have any facts regarding what Thunderfoot has accomplished in his life? No. Thunderfoot's an asshole, but this is just nonsense. You're still not over the peach girl. Well, whatever. That's old stuff. And, you know, you never get over a pretty woman, you know. But whatever. You're an asshole. This isn't the real Scotty, right? I mean, Scotty couldn't be this retarded. This is some kind of little fake Scotty. Oh, well, he's Scotty Rules, so he's like a sycophant of Scotty's. Yeah, that's what he is. Oh, there. Look at that. He has a Warbles video. What a joke. Oh, that's hilarious. Hilarious, I say. Let's see. This is a Warbles video. Asian... Oh, it's more about the stupid other stuff. Guilty pleasures. To be serious. A hangout was on Saturday night. Oh, yeah, that's when she drank her little boozy stuff. Pathetic. Pathetic. Oh, look at that. There's an old anti-bullshit man video. I made them lies about my position. Yeah, I remember your hysterical position in most subjects. Anyway, so this guy obviously has a thing for hating on Gary. Wow. A little too obvious there, fella. Little bit too obvious. I mean, every video is an anti-amendment video. But really, 4 comments. See, you're not going to get blocked for one of these comments, but 4 comments. I mean, that's just being obnoxious. You can't figure out how to consolidate that. Put an enter in here and just keep typing. Come on, this is too silly. Too silly. Okay, enough of that shit. Get rid of all these. While I'm here, we might as well just clean the little house up here. Cleaning up the house. Uh-oh. I think my mouse just croaked. I believe it did. Now what do I do? I'm right in the middle of a video. I have a croaked mouse. Well, I guess I have to fix it. No choice. I have to take the phone batteries out because I don't have batteries recharged. So I have to take the phone batteries out, put them in the mouse, take the batteries out of the mouse, put them back in the phone. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Actually, it's a pretty good system. As long as I remember to connect the phone properly. So if the phone doesn't ring, then people think I'm dead, and they get all upset. Just a terrible hassle. So anyway, where was I? Oh, the mouse is still dead. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I fixed it all by myself. Okay, anyway, let's see. That's the same reply to the skinny wop. Hope you're doing well, Gary. Well, we're still not over the peach. Well, that's an old one. No one forced you to start smoking, Gary. Again, that's just not the point. I mean, it really isn't. And the point is that I did start smoking under one circumstance, and they changed the game after I was addicted, and that's just kind of bullshit too. So they should have at least created a provision to grandfather out the legacy smokers. And the fact that you don't even have the decency to do that makes you just such lousy, rotten pieces of shit, cunt bastards. So anyway, but this really isn't the point, right? I mean, we're talking about a liberty, and you're saying you have a right to tax people out of their liberty at your discretion because you're a bigot. And I'm going to say, fuck you, you're an un-American bastard, and we should shove you into rowboats and send you off to fucking Iran so you can hate freedom. You freedom-hating scum. You'd probably drown long before you get there, because I'm sure you're a big, monstrous, fat tub of shit. I mean, it just seems obvious. You're just a bunch of fat tubs of shit that are playing this game. Be a fly on my screen. Let's see, videos. This probably doesn't make any videos. No, just favorite video, some clown video, Photoshop bullshit, retard. He looks pretty much like a retard. I think I might as well just block him since I'm here, right? Might as well. Gotta go to the about. Oh, look at that, Alex Jones channel. Yeah, you're a real smart guy. Sheesh. Pathetic. Pathetic. Pathetic, 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 pathetic. Ugh, he's just sucked to a bunch of crap. Yuck. Ew. Ew. Fucking Chabeach. Ew. Ew. Give me a fright. Yes, anyway. Yuck. It's probably gay too. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, okay, let's do a little bit. The other thing I noticed was that shithead, whatever his name is, the moron, Perpidupity, did some more videos. I don't know which one to mess with. 22 hours ago, I guess I should do that one first. But the Photoshop shit again. Oh, that's the hour and 10 minute one. Oh, fuck that. I ain't doing no hour and 10 minutes. That's a waste of my time. Well, I could jump through it, right? I could just jump through it. Wasted my time, wasted my time. Oh, look at that heavy traffic.
Join the movement.
Oh,
New Move Free
commercial
Ultra
again.
Omega, a revolutionary
Oh, you
omega-3
can't even get
formula
rid of
for
this
2 times
one.
better joint comfort. Healthy
That's
joints,
even
move
more
free.
offensive. Yeah, I'm also not going to watch videos that have fucking forced ads on them. That's just tasteless.
Howdy, everyone. So
Fuck
Gary
you.
has made a 29 on
Jackasses.
federal government would be this like giant behemoth that would crush everyone's individual rights and their states' rights. That's why we have Bill of Rights, Gary.
It sets up these limits.
No, I think we have the Bill of Rights because the majority doesn't need any of the bills. You know, the majority doesn't need protection from anything. So the document basically exists to protect minority rights. But fuck you.
Slaves. Well, he approved the rape part. Okay.
He had sex with Sally Hemings. What, do you think she's in a fucking position to say no? Slaves typically, this is not an uncommon thing.
Okay, right. So he had sex with a black woman in a time of slavery, and therefore it's automatically rape. Oh, I see. So even if she was happy and wearing nice dresses and he was really polite and nice about everything and everything was really fine, it's rape anyway just because she's a slave. Oh, I see. Yeah, fuck you. Stupid logic. Yeah, great. So you didn't even show up for your own video, huh? Do.
What are you gonna say?
See what he says here. No, missing. There he is.
Gary thinking that people would have liked to have been raped by Jefferson. Because apparently in Gary land...
Oh, well, look, I mean, the joke is, like, Thomas Jefferson, it's like being raped by Michelangelo or something. Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to get raped by the greats. Come on. Whatever, I mean, this is just stupid. It's a joke, asshole. Oh, God, you're so pathetic.
apparently denied that television's been regulated by the government.
And they had to broadcast in the
go. Here we go.
And they voluntarily agreed to some standard, which they...
Well, look, I don't need to argue this stuff. Forget it.
Yeah, you do, because you made that fucking claim, Gary. And
Yeah, I did. I made the claim that the government regulated television, and it doesn't matter whether, again, so you're going to deny the fact that many times, many organizations like unions or some other thing will create internal policies to prevent the government from having an external policy. You don't think that industry does that all the time? They'll end up with creating some sort of industry standards and say, okay, we'll do this, or we'll go by underwriters, or we'll do something to prevent the government from imposing a law. Oh, duh. But anyway, who cares?
Said it has to be the same rules there are everywhere else, and that this idea of putting stuff on late at night is probably a good idea, and they endorsed that. And those were the restrictions, but you couldn't discriminate in how people gained access to public access. The access had to be non-discriminatory, which means if you had too many people requesting access, then you had to have a lottery or some other system that was fair.
Duh. By the way, I think the court case, Gary, you're going to try and run a site about, well, banning content on public access is, I believe, Denver area Educational Telecommunications Consortium versus the FCC. That case was in 1996, I believe. Might want to look that case up, because that's actually a case that, yeah, if I had actually talked about, well, what can and can't be on public access, that would...
Well, guess what? The subject wasn't what you were talking about. The subject was what I was talking about. And what I was talking about is the government has every right to fucking regulate the internet. And that was the argument, that it did it with TV, that it did it with cable television, it probably did it with radio. And yeah, that's totally appropriate to protect civilian rights on these mediums, and that's my only argument here. And you're making some counter argument that the government doesn't have a right or doesn't have the capacity to do that, that the First Amendment doesn't necessarily mean anything, and it does mean something if the government just writes a regulation. They just write a simple rule, and then all of a sudden we have First Amendment rights. But if they don't write the rule, we don't have the rights. That was my argument, and somehow you, because you're an obnoxious asshole, decide to make an argument where we might not even have one. But that's because you're just an asshole. I never said anything other than the fact that it needs regulating. That was in my original video to Napalm, response to Napalm. I used the word regulation. I said it like 10 fucking times. All right, and then that was the simple point. I think regulation would be better than creating a government. I'm for one or the other, but I mean, I'm for either the government making an internet, creating public space on the internet, actual public space. But if the government isn't going to do that, then I think just regulating what exists is a perfectly reasonable alternative.
Be a case I would have referenced, but I haven't talked about what can and can't be on public access. I was directly countering your false claim regarding the actual existence of the channels in the first place.
Oh, bullshit. That's just bullshit, okay? The actual existence of the channels is a fact. That's all that's relevant. I said the fact is it was created, whether it's created by the Supreme Court, created by the FCC, or created by the Congress is sort of irrelevant. My point was the Supreme Court has endorsed its existence and established that on this regulated space on the internet, even though it's not technically public space, it's regulated space, and on regulated space, First Amendment rights, all amendment rights are activated, and they're real, and now people have those rights. That was the argument, shit for brains. My browser hates your guts.
I don't think most people care about community access television and public access television, so I don't really think most people really give a shit. So I don't really think cable company or locality would really look that bad to most people.
Yeah, right. But that's because you have no civic interest, right? Exactly. So yeah, you wouldn't want to see the council meetings on cable TV. You wouldn't want to know how they're spending your money. You wouldn't want to see those debates. None of that stuff is of any interest to you because you're all under fucking let the corporation run the government. That's your attitude. Yeah, you have no public interest or civil interest or any perception of a duty to be involved in government or to get people involved in government. That's right, because you're just a fucking piece of shit. Like it's always been already established. You're a piece of shit. Yes, you thoroughly suck. You should live in Iran, you motherfucking cunt. You freedom hater.
Find some other commodity somewhere that has gone up that much. That's over 2,000.
Again, Gary, firstly, inflation.
Right, yeah, firstly, inflation doesn't account for a 2,000% increase in prices, right? Most things have doubled or tripled in price. And the point is that cigarettes haven't gotten more expensive to produce, they've got less expensive to produce relative to other commodities, okay, because of mechanization. So the fact is that cigarettes only cost 22 cents in today's dollars to produce, where they cost maybe 18 cents 20 years ago to produce. So there hasn't been much of an increase in the production cost. Asshole.
Like, I don't know how to really tell you this, Gary. Like, for fuck's sake, I remember being able to get, like, a bag of Flaming Hot Cheetos for 49 cents, and now they're, what, $3.99? That's pretty...
Yeah, well, Cheetos, I don't have any explanation for that. It's beyond the fact that, it's all this name brand stuff, and the stores only carry the name brand stuff, so we're all stuck with paying inflated prices. So that's not a really great example, right? Because those prices are sort of controlled by who sells out in the distribution network. But obviously cigarettes wouldn't have a distribution problem, especially now. Distribution wouldn't be a problem. Cigarettes are lightweight, easy to ship, no problem.
Big jump. What about a candy bar? I remember a candy bar costed about 25 cents, big Snickers bar. Now they're what, $1.50? Most places? That's a pretty big jump too, Gary. There's this thing called inflation. Maybe you should look into it. And
yeah, well, maybe you should look it up into it based on income. So why don't you explain to me how people's income has increased by 4 or 5 or 6 times? Just why don't you show me that? Oh yeah, that's right. That didn't happen, did it? So if people's incomes didn't increase by that much, then I guess the price should be relative to that. But again, it doesn't matter. We already know what the production cost of cigarettes are, okay? You can find the production cost. And I'm saying even if you triple the production cost to account for marketing and transportation, you can't, and profit, you still can't come up with any rational price that's anything over 60 or 70 cents a pack. So again, I'm right, you're wrong, period. I mean, really, you really want to keep arguing that you think cigarettes, if there was no taxes or no fees, if cigarettes were just left alone, they were treated like any other food item, that you don't think companies would be selling cigarettes right now for 60 or 70 cents a pack. when they only cost 22 cents a pack to produce? You don't think there'd be plenty of companies saying, hey, we can make some big fucking money by selling cigarettes? Yeah. I think you know the... well, whatever. There's no... it's like I'm expecting people to concede to overwhelming logic and evidence, and I'm not recognizing that your pettiness goes so deep that you just will never acknowledge the facts. The facts are irrelevant. So I guess Jefferson will always be some sort of violent rapist. That's how that's what you're gonna label him. Some sort of horrid, awful sex thief. Yeah.
And, am I supposed to be impressed that, cigarettes cost like $3 a carton back in like 1972? Or, actually, no, you're older. What, probably like 1962 or whatever?
No, sorry, I'm not that old. It was 72. And yeah, you're supposed to be sort of impressed. That's right. Because relative to other commodities, a loaf of bread was still 40 or 50 cents back then. It's come on. Play ball in some kind of reasonable ballpark. A dozen eggs wasn't 10 cents. A dozen eggs was still 50 or 60 cents. A gallon of milk was still 60, 70, 80 cents. So get real.
Started smoking? Like, am I supposed to be impressed by this, Gary?
No, you're supposed to be impressed by the fact that the production cost of cigarettes is 22 cents for a pack of cigarettes. And that there's plenty of room for profit and marketing and distribution that would leave the price well under $1.
Which, of course, is why they're arguing against the taxes, just like you are, Gary.
Well, let's hear what this argument was. That's too far back.
You realize, Gary, that if they could be sued and that hadn't happened, your cigarettes would probably be even more expensive than they are right now?
No, they wouldn't, because they'd start winning the lawsuits. Eventually they'd figure out how to make the argument that people have heard about this Surgeon General warning forever. The only people who are getting away with the lawsuits were people who were smoking Lucky Strikes in 1940. Okay, so people, once the Surgeon General warning, once all the talk about blah 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 blah, it would be getting harder and harder for people to win these lawsuits. So I don't think that would have been a problem. And again, we were already paying for the lawsuits, and it wasn't costing us too much because we're still only paying 75 cents a pack for cigarettes at the peak of the lawsuits. So this is a bullshit argument. And frankly, the lawsuits would only affect R.J. Reynolds, the big tobacco producers, so some other company could start up. It would have no existing liability, and it could distribute and sell cigarettes dirt cheap, because it wouldn't have any lawsuit problem, would it? No, that's right, it wouldn't.
Because of all the money they would have lost in lawsuits, all the hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars they would have had to shell out, even more than they did.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's a tiny amount of the money they were making. So, like I said, it was one of the most profitable businesses to be in was selling cigarettes, shithead. So, yeah, it really wasn't a problem.
As it is now, your cigarettes would probably be more expensive, if nothing else, for fuck's sake.
Paying the government.
Well, like I said, that's just a lie. So I'm sorry, that's just a lie. Okay, the amount of money the government took would, say if the tobacco companies were spending 20 cents on the lawsuits, the government came in and took $2.20 on the settlement.
The money, okay, charging the cigarette smokers. The cigarette smokers paid the money. They gave the money to the government. So they were part of the fucking racket.
Which, of course, is why they're arguing against the taxes, just like you are, Gary.
No, well, they obviously they didn't argue against the compromise deal that they made because obviously, again, they have never protected smokers' rights. All they care about are their business interest rights. So all they care about is finding ways to maintain their business interest in an environment where they're selling a product that's hated by the majority of people.
First video I made towards I pointed out how you said that you didn't want to pay for kids to have education and health care. We call this Sharia. And you said it's unfair and only people who have kids should have to pay for it, etc.
Let's just get to the
Are you for
answer.
that?
But Gary, when you were on the public dole, which you still are, you spent all that money on cigarettes. By your own admission, you spent public money to buy cigarettes. Why should the public have paid?
Yeah, I don't think the public should. Yeah, I don't believe in public doles and all this other stuff. Okay, what I did was I paid into Social Security, which has insurance. And what I've said directly to you is that people should have insurance against disability. Now, you don't believe in that. That's your prerogative. I disagree with you. So I fundamentally think you're a Nazi motherfucking fascist asshole besides being a bigot and a jackass. Yeah, I think you just suck right to the core. Okay, not like, oh, the suck just goes around the edges a little. The suck goes all the way to the core.
For your cigarettes, because they were subsidizing you. And
well, again, you're saying it's a subsidy. Social Security pays like, $700. Newsflash, it ain't a lot of money. But anyway, moving on.
You should pay for the social expense. What's so
You're not paying for your liberty, Gary.
outrageous?
Well, again, what liberty are you talking about? What liberty do I have to pay for? What liberty is that? Oh, my right not to have kids? I'm not paying for not having kids? No. So you missed the point. So, and again, you want to keep arguing I didn't buy Social Security insurance, you're a liar. I paid for it. I worked and I paid for my insurance. Do you understand insurance programs, asshole?
It's about that. It's not something you have to do. It's something you choose to do. And if you choose to do it, why should somebody else subsidize it? That's stupid.
Like you own it, like how the people subsidize your housing, your
Again, well, I'm not going to argue this. This is way too personal, and you're going to harp on this. Again, I paid for the insurance. You don't know what insurance is, asshole? You don't? You don't understand the concept of insurance? Fuck you.
I would have the taxes first. First, I'd stop the giveaway. And you could probably finance everything with the money just from stopping the giveaways. The free riders.
I really don't think that someone in your position should really be talking about people getting a free ride. All I have to say there.
Yeah, go ahead, keep saying shit like that, okay? What do you do for a living? I really want to know, because I think you're a liar and a crook. I think the only way you could possibly be making any goddamn money is stealing money from widows and shit. Alright, so if you're going to put this stuff to people, alright, I don't have to account for my life to you, you motherfucking cunt. Alright, you really, oh, well, of course I do, because you suck. I keep forgetting you suck to the core, so of course you're going to play these weaselly games and ignore the point made. Okay, which is nobody's liberty should be taxed unless that liberty costs society some money. Then they should be taxed for the cost of their liberty. Yeah, that's the Jeffersonian principle. Alright, but you fuckers hate freedom. You Iranian motherfucking kooks. And you ought to get fucking deported for it.
Pay taxes on it. Doesn't matter if you don't use.
And the point of that part of the video was the fact that you should first be taxing inheritance. That was the inheritance part. So he just skipped right over that. Just ignored it.
Service. I'm probably never going
Because he's probably beneficiary of such a thing, right? He didn't go out and get a real job. He's just working for daddy. Yeah, so he sits in his elitist position, his advantageous position, and then he'll sit there and talk about how, I'm a generous guy. Yeah, right. Because you earned it, right? You earned it. Yeah, fuck you. Let's have your whole story, you fucker. Let's see your tax return, cunt.
Medicaid or TANF or food stamps, but I'll still pay taxes into those programs, and I'm happy to do so, Gary.
Yeah, you'll still pay taxes from who signs your check? Who the fuck signs your check? Who? Come on. If you're going to get into other people's business, they should be able to get into your business. Who signs your check?
Because I live in a democracy, and I actually care about what happens to my fellow citizen.
Yeah, what a crock of shit. Let's see if he says, well, I'm just going to go move on here. Fuck this.
Protected class. Okay?
Yes, it does.
Supreme Court, okay, if I could ever get to the Supreme Court, all I have to do is recite their own words to them. Okay? You may have a tax that is not perfectly equal, not perfect.
Gary, you tried to go to the Supreme Court, and they laughed your case out.
Okay, that never happened. Okay, I never went to the United States Supreme Court. I went to the New Jersey Supreme Court. Okay, and they didn't laugh anything out of anywhere. So you're just a liar now. You're just a desperate fucking liar because you're not going to deal with the fact. The fact is there's law on the books. There's Supreme Court decisions that clearly state what I just stated, that they have to tax similarly situated similarly. Not exactly. Everything doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it has to be similarly situated, have to be treated similarly. That means your beer and your fat foods should be taxed just like cigarettes, because by the standard of for your own good, we should save you from yourself, fatty. What's your cholesterol, by the way, fatty? I mean, that should be the right standard, right? Anyone whose cholesterol is over 200, we should tax the fuck out of them. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good standard. So fuck you for evading that fucking easy issue right there. Well, I mean, that's the one that finishes, right? I mean, there's nothing else to say, really. Just evaded it. Just evaded it. Just pretended that it didn't exist. That the Supreme Court hasn't said those words.
You could still, like, make booze. And a lot of people who supported prohibition only thought it would apply to liquor. They didn't think, beer and other things would be covered. Found out the hard way that wasn't the case.
Yeah, well, that's why it was around for so long. It's because everybody thought they were duped. No, it was around so long is because people, generally speaking, were sick of alcoholics ruining everybody's life. Yeah, that's it. And it took them 10 years to say, well, fuck it, it's not working anyway. But yeah, if they did a tax, that would work, right? Because then they'd have an easy law. They could throw them